They said words are harmless, but in this village, one girl's tongue became sharper than a blade, cutting everyone, even her own mother. This is the story of Monica, the girl whose sharp tongue turned into a curse. In a small peaceful village, there lived a crippled woman named Ogechi. She was known for her kindness and sweet heart. Everybody loved her, but life was not always easy for Ogechi. She wasn't born crippled. Long ago, she was like every other young bride, full of dreams and hopes for her wedding day. But fate had other plans. On the day she was going to her husband's house, the cart carrying her had an accident. It was terrible. Ogechi lost both her legs. From that day, the villagers began to call her Ogechi, the one on the wheelchair. Yet, even after losing her legs, Ogechi never lost her kindness. She remained the same sweet woman who greeted everyone with a smile. Not long after the wedding, Ogechi gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Monica. Monica had her mother's beauty, but none of her kindness. She grew up with a sharp tongue, and when it came to insult, no one in the village could match her. Even babies were not safe from her words. Ogechi, being a caring mother, would always sit Monica down and say, "My daughter, your tongue is like fire. It can burn everything if you don't control it." But Monica never listened. She would roll her eyes and walk away. Soon, everyone in the village began to see the difference between mother and daughter. One was gentle like soft rain. The other was sharp like a thorn. People feared Monica's tongue. It didn't matter who you were, young, old, strong, or weak. Monica's words could cut you deeper than a knife. When a child cried, Monica would say, "Even your cry is as ugly as your face." If an elder spoke, she would snap, "Old man, your words are as slow as your legs." And if anyone dared correct her, Monica's tongue would strike like a snake. Her mother never stopped trying. Every day, Ogechi would warn her, "Words are like arrows. Once they leave your mouth, you can never take them back." But Monica didn't care. To her, those words were like wind blowing past her ears. Her reputation grew. Monica became known as the girl with the sharpest tongue. People began to avoid her. Even the respected elders could not escape her insult. One fateful afternoon, after sweeping the compound and fetching water, Monica went into the kitchen to cook. She cooked in a rush, not paying attention. When she served the food to her parents, Ogechi took one taste and spat it out. "Monica, my daughter," Ogechi said gently, "you need to be careful when you cook. A woman who cannot cook will struggle to find a good husband." Ogechi's words were soft, but Monica's anger flared like wildfire. She stood up, eyes burning, and said, "If cooking is so easy, why don't you get up from that wheelchair and do it yourself?" "Oh wait, you can't. You're useless, no legs, no sense." The words hit Ogechi like a spear to the heart. Tears filled her eyes as she looked at her daughter. But Monica stood tall, arms folded, proud of her sharp tongue. Ogechi's husband said nothing. His heart had grown cold towards her since the accident. The next day, the entire village was whispering about Monica's cruel words. The elders were shocked. How could a daughter speak to her mother like that? They decided it was time to discipline her. The elder sent a message for Monica to appear at the village square, but Monica refused. "Who are they to call me? I have nothing to say to a bunch of old men," she muttered. Angered by her disrespect, the elder sent 2 strong men to fetch her. When they arrived, Monica was furious. "You dare drag me to those useless elders," she shouted, but she had no choice. At the village square, instead of humbling herself, Monica hardened her face. Her sharp tongue was ready for battle. The elders tried to advise her, warning her about the dangers of disrespecting her mother. But Monica snapped. "You with the big eyes, you look like a frog," she shouted at one elder. Turning to another, she said, "I heard you are a slave to your wife. She controls everything you do." Then she pointed at a quiet elder. "Your wife told me you don't last in bed. You're a 30-second man." The crowd gasped. The elders were humiliated in front of the village, but they said nothing. Monica smiled proudly and walked away, not knowing her actions would soon lead her into a disaster. Her sharp tongue could not escape.
The next morning, Monica went to the stream as usual. Her head was high, tongue ready for anyone who crossed her path. At the stream, an old woman was washing clothes. The woman, tired and slow, accidentally splashed water on Monica. Monica exploded. "What is wrong with you?" The old woman apologized softly. "I'm sorry, my child. I didn't see you coming." But Monica's tongue lashed out like a whip. "Sorry? That's all you can say. You are just a lonely old witch. No wonder you have lost all six of your children. Maybe you sacrificed them at your witch meeting." The old woman's eyes filled with sorrow, but she said nothing. "You should sacrifice yourself too. No one wants you here." People at the stream heard every word but remained silent. They were too afraid to become Monica's next victim. The old woman quietly packed her things and left. Monica laughed, thinking she had won again. But by the next morning, trouble had come. Monica woke up feeling something strange in her mouth. Her tongue was heavy. She tried to speak, but her words were murmured. As the hour passed, her tongue grew longer and heavy. By noon, it was poking out of her mouth, and by evening, it had grown so large she could no longer close her mouth. Panic set in. Monica's face was swollen. She couldn't speak. She couldn't even eat. Her sharp tongue has turned against her. Ogechi noticed her daughter's struggle. "Monica, what is wrong?" she asked. But Monica could only murmur. Ogechi wheeled herself to the neighbors, begging for help, but the doors remained shut. "Why should we help that girl? Let her sharp tongue help her now," one neighbor said. Monica's cries were useless. The villagers had turned their back on her. A sharp tongue can cut others, but it will one day cut its owner. Do you think Monica will get the help that she deserves? And do you also think Monica will change? Watch out for the next part. Thank you for watching.